Hello! In today's installment of Traditional Cooperage, we're starting a series of videos where I discuss coopering tools. In this episode, we'll be looking at two tools that are foundational to stave blank preparation, the froe and the maul. Today I'll present these tools in the context of quarter splitting stave blanks for future use in making buckets or pails. This quarter splitting process may be referred to by several other names, including cleaving, rending, or riving. Historically, the froe has gone by many other names, including the chit, the cleaving iron, the dill axe, the divider, the flammerd, the flamming iron, the frammer, the frommerd, the fromward, the froe, the froward, the frummer, helpmate, lath axe, lav river, pole axe, ramhead, rending axe, riving axe, side knife, split axe, and thrower. While the name may vary by period, location, or trade, all of the coopering references I have encountered refer to it as the froe. Most of the froes that I have observed have a dull 12 to 18-inch blade that is wedge-shaped in cross-section. However, I've seen one or two examples where the blade is as short as 6 inches. The hand-shaped handle is fitted into the eye in the tool's head, secured with one or more iron wedges driven into the handle's end grain. While these have been commercially available for some time, those found in traditional cooperages are almost always blacksmith made. The maul is a user-made tool, and most any hardwood may be used, but the taproot of a hickory tree is preferred due to its hardness. I used a piece of ash for mine that I rescued from my wood pile. Now, ash has a propensity for delaminating on its growth rings when struck, so may not be the most resilient species for a maul, but these tools take a great deal of abuse and usually need to be remade after several years anyway. Fruit woods are another good option, and I've got a nice stack of pear trimmings in my wood pile, so I may use that for my next maul. The maul protects the trailing edge of the froe from peening that could occur if it were struck with a metal tool. If the froe's edge were to peen over, it could negatively impact its usability or throw blinding shards of metal into the user's eyes. The froe, with its dull blade and a handle that's at a right angle to that blade, provides an efficient way for coopers to transform raw timber into stave blanks for making coopered vessels. While demonstrating cask length stave riving here at Dill's Tavern, I've occasionally had visitors walk up and ask if it wouldn't be easier just to saw the quartered white oak billets. The answer is going to be a resounding no. Sawing takes longer, and the resulting stave blanks may include grain runout. I addressed this problem in last week's riving video, which I'll include in this video's end screen. Whereas its cousin, the axe, with its finely honed bit, which severs the wood's fibers, the froe is a relatively dull but precise tool that is placed exactly where the cooper intends the billet to split. The blow of the maul drives the froe into the end grain, and the froe's dull edge initiates a split that follows the wood grain and runs the entire length of the billet. To exert even pressure on both sides of the split, we should attempt to split the radial plane down the center of the billet. This helps keep the split running true. It is much easier to start the split by placing the froe's blade on the corner of the billet's end grain and then progressively driving the froe's edge into the full width of the billet. Attempting to just embed the froe's entire edge all at once often results in the tool just bouncing off of the billet's end grain. On bucket or pail length billets, the froe performs almost exclusively like a wedge, whereas on cast length billets, the froe's levering action can be used to control the split should that grain decide to veer from the intended path. When riving longer cast length stave blanks, the billet may be held in a break, which allows the cooper to exert greater leverage on the wood. With the froe in the split, the tool can be worked firmly but gently down the split in a process called turning away. This may provide a clue to one of the tool's many early names, the fromward. I'll demonstrate this process in a future video on quarter riving cask length stave blanks. As time progressed, so did cooper's tools. This 19th century curved froe is a prime example. With extremely straight grain wood, curved froes such as this may be used to roughly hollow and back staves during the quarter riving process. This can both aid in shaping staves more efficiently and it reduces waste. The rhythmic thud of the maul meeting the froe and that satisfying split of the wood, it's more than a process, it's a symphony that echoes the history of traditional cooperage. For a more detailed explanation of the riving process, check out this video.